Hi everyone! Welcome to the Bendigo Tech School's Introduction to Programming in Scratch. My name is Rue and today we will be making a simple story animation using block coding. To start off with, navigate to scratch.mit.edu like I have over here. This will show you the home page where it has featured projects, Scratch news and some other cool stuff at the bottom like studios and other curated projects. For now we're going to ignore all this and I'm just going to go ahead and go to my stuff. Here you can see I've already logged in, so you might like to log into your own account too. Cool, once I get to my stuff there's a whole bunch of little games and things that I've tried making. I'm going to go ahead and create a new project. Now that we've created a new project, we are going to do a quick tour of the Scratch interface that we can see in front of us now. On the top left-hand corner you can see a Scratch icon that will take us back to the home page. Here you can change the languages if you want to. There's some file options, tutorials, and a name section for a file naming section for your program or project. I'm going to go ahead and change that to my project. The next buttons are for sharing your project with other people and the Scratch community, and there's a place where you can see your project page as well. Down here is where all your code is currently stored and ready to go. Unlike text-based coding, you don't have to know all the commands already. You can just select them from here and move them into your coding window here. So here we've got code that's for motion and it's in blue. We've also got purple code for appearances or looks, and we've also got sound and events. There's plenty more underneath, but we're not going to worry about these for the moment. We're just going to focus on the first few here. What else? So like on this side you can see your game or project window. This is where you'll see the magic happen, where your code is executed and it makes something happen in this screen. And below there's a few options for the sprites, which are the characters and objects you place in your game. And there's also some options for well here's where you have your sprite, and you can sort of select that if you want to, so you know which one you're coding, and you've also got a space for backdrops if you wish as well. So now that we've done a tour of the Scratch interface, let's go ahead and get coding. To start off with, we're going to take this cat and we're going to delete him by pressing on this little trash icon next to him. Now that we're here, we're going to add a sprite back in, and we do that by clicking on this choose sprite button. And here it takes us to a menu of all sorts of sprites that we can choose from. We've got cakes, we've got bowls, we've got balloons and bananas. I'm feeling like I want something from the fantasy genre, and there's like some cool ghosts and mermaids, but I think I'm going to go with this goblin over here that looks pretty happy to be here. And now from here we're going to also add in a background, and the background is chosen through here, and we've got different options of circles and castles. We're going to get just a standard bedroom. Now we've got our little goblin creature hanging out in his bedroom. So now we are looking at actually getting on with the code. Let's start off with some simple movement based code to start off with. So if I click on motion, you've got a few different options for how to make your character move. So one of the first things you can do is get him to move 10 steps. And Scratch is cool because you can make the code run just by clicking on the code itself. So when I click on this icon, you can see our goblin moves 10 steps to the right. And if I keep clicking it, that happens again and again. Now if I wanted him to move backwards, I can just put in -10 steps. and he'll do the same but just backwards, because this direction, right to left, is in the negative x direction and left to right is in the positive x direction. So we've done move 10 steps. There's another option that we can use for moving, and that is the glide option. And to do the glide option, you just want to select one of these here. But before you do, you can actually customize these into the way you actually want them to be by moving your character to where you'd like him to be at the end. So I'd like him to be on the other side of the room at the end of the program, and you can see that these coordinates have updated for his new position. So if I move him back, it's negative 116 and negative 59, but if I move him over here, he becomes 175 and negative 61. So I'm going to put that new one in here, and if I move him here and I click on this, he'll move all the way across. You can't quite see it, but he's moved negative 10 steps, and then he did the glide over to the other section. Now he's over here now. I would like him to start off the program being here, so I'd like another piece of code that says go to this position. So I'm going to remove this one and instead put in this go to one. So I'm going to put him where I'd like him to be, and then click on go to, which is updated. And now if I click this, he moves across the bedroom, but if I click again, he will first go to this position and then glide again, as so. And you can just keep clicking that and he can just move around and around, or across and across, I mean, as many times as you'd like. Cool, now that's a really, really great start, but we would like to put in a method of running this code without us having to click on the code. So to do that, we're gonna use this function of the green flag, and this green flag and red flag are ways to start and stop your code. But to use them, you need to include events. So just to show you, we're going to say when flag clicked, go to x negative 163 and y negative 58, and then glide 1 second to this new position. And now I can still click on this code, but I can also click on this green flag now, which is really helpful. And that really improves our code by a lot. So the next thing we're going to look at is how to add other sprites in and then look at speech. So let's add in a new sprite. To do that, we're going to click on this little sprite option here and choose another creature to add to our story. So I'm feeling like I want to have this little black bat creature in there, and just for now we're going to move our goblin to the side and put our bat creature over here. And you can see there's now 2 different sets of code for each one. The goblin has a code we made earlier, and the bat has no code since we haven't made anything yet. The next thing is to decide what sort of story we're going to have. And for the sake of this one, we're going to say that our little goblin is a gardening goblin, and the bat is actually getting in the way of him going to gardening. So he has to scare away the little bat so that he can get to gardening. So to do that, we're going to start with changing our goblin's expression. Expressions are very important, and luckily in costumes, this guy has some cool expressions already that we can use. To start off with, I want him to have a neutral expression, but we're going to get him to change to an excited expression, and maybe not a sad, we'll go angry expression when he realizes there's a bat, and back to a happy expression when he's finished shooing away the bat. So here you can see it's got said Goblin A, Goblin B, Goblin C, and Goblin D. And there are also options to paint and add features to your image if you wish. Here I'm drawing a little flower on his chest and colouring his boots in purple, but I'm not going to add this as part of the what do you call project itself. I'm just doing a little bit for interest's sake, but I'm going to just go ahead and undo those parts for now. And let's go back to the code and have a look at how we can put those appearances into our code. So if you go into looks, you can see that there's some options for verbal discussion as well as costume changes. So we want our goblin to start off in the neutral goblin expression, which was goblin costume A. And we're going to put that right at the start so he's ready when he goes. And the other thing to do is to add in some text. So before he moves around, I want him to realize that there's a bat in his room, maybe say something about what he's thinking of doing. So we'll say, perhaps we'd like him to first go to this position, and then we want him to say something like hello, or maybe I need to get ready for gardening. And we can say he says that for 3 seconds, and then before when he realizes that there's a bat, we want him to have a angry expression, which I think would have been goblin D. So we're going to say switch to goblin D and then say what? There is a bat in my room. We'll say that for 4 seconds. And so if we just run this piece of code now, we have the following little story. I need to get ready for gardening. What? There's a bat in my room. And then he should glide across. And he's now dealing with the bat, and he's not happy about it. So that's looking pretty good. That's a really good start to our story. Next thing I'd like to do is for him to actually do something to scare the bat away. So we'll assume that he's over here before, and we'll say he's just said, I need to get ready for gardening, switches to goblin D, which was angry face, and say, what? There's a bat in my room for 4 seconds. Next, I want him to scare away the bat. So for that, I'm going to do another costume change, except this time switch to costume A. I will move this away for a second. And just need to check, is A? No, I want this one. This one's goblin B. So we'll go back and say switch to costume to goblin B. And then he's going to say, there we go, shoo, shoo. And he's going to say that for 6 seconds. Oh, it's already running. And after that, we'll let him glide back again. So let's test that out. I need to get ready for gardening. What? There's a bat in my room. Shoo, shoo. And then he's going to move across. Eventually. There we go. Alright, looking pretty good. Now we need our bat to respond. So to code the bat, we need to jump out of the goblin and go into the bat. So clicking on that one, you can see his code is actually empty right now. So to fix that, we're going to do the same thing, or similar thing, where we're going to start with events and say when flag is clicked. And then we're going to say in looks, let's have a look at what this bat's costumes are. You can see he's got arms open, he's got arms down, wings open, and shouty face, and then nice sleepy bat. I think I would like him to start with this costume, which is bat A, so I'll do that just to start off with. switch costume to bat A, and then I would like him to say, or actually I want it to be positioned right, so I'd like him to be over here, and maybe we can have him off screen actually. Have him off screen to start off with, and if I go into motion, that will now be the starting position. So I'll say go to this place. That way it's off camera. So if I play, or I'll add a couple more things in first. So eventually I'd like him to come in, and so I want him to glide over to this section, and we'll go in motion, and we'll say glide to here. We'll say glide 1 second to this. And then when the boy says shoo shoo, I'm going to make this little bat get scared and fly away. And for that I need to switch costume to, oh hang on, is that correct? There we go, switch costume to, let's have a look at what the scared one looks like. Bat C, alright, to bat C. And then we'll say when he gets scared, he'll go to a random position, or maybe we'll say glide 1 second to a random position, and then he will be, and then he'll disappear off camera again. Oopsies. Then he'll disappear over here. And that will be, where is it? Go to this. Oh no, we don't want go, we want glide. Silly me. Cool, so when flag is clicked, switch to the happy bat, go to this position, glide 1 second to here. When he gets scared, switch costume to bat C, glide somewhere random, and then glide out to here. So let's play that and see what happens. Oh no, it's all in the wrong order. So what we need to do is match up the times so that it's in line with our boy over here. So if we look back at him, we can see that there is 3 seconds where he says, I need to get ready for gardening, before he sees the bat. So for that we will, oopsies, wrong one. For this one we'll say he doesn't need to come in until 3 seconds have passed. So to do that we'll go into here and say wait. So this is in control. Oh, I said I wouldn't be using these, but turns out we are. That's okay. One more thing to add to the collection of things to learn. So we'll say wait for 3 seconds and then glide in. So if we test that, it should work a little bit better. Cool, so that's looking better, but we still need to make the bat wait before it gets scared off. So if we look at our goblin, we can see that he says, I need to get ready for gardening for 3 seconds, then waits 4 seconds before he says shoo shoo. So after turning up, if I got this right, he needs to stick around for 4 seconds. Yeah. So we'll move that one down. We'll say wait 4 seconds. Cool. Let's have a look at what that looks like. I need to get ready for gardening. What? There's a bat in my room. And then shoo shoo, and he gets scared off. Excellent. And then our goblin goes to the side of the screen. So that's looking pretty good. And I think one thing I'd like to change is that I want my goblin to be completely off screen. So instead of just stopping here, we're going to have him go to the end like the bat. And to do that, we're going to just modify this one over here. So we'll put the goblin where we'd like him to be, and that's all the way basically off camera. And then put in a new glide function. Cool. Glide 1 second to this direction. So that's looking really great. Next thing we want to do is add in a new scene which has the garden involved. And we're, I think, more than halfway through now. So to add the garden in, we're going to go into backdrops and add a new backdrop. So clicking on that one, we have a few different options. Garden will be in outdoors, and let's have a look. So we've got playing field, garden rock over here, that'll do. And now we've got backdrop 3, which is one of our options. And you can see, all the backdrop options by clicking on this one and going to backdrops here. You see it's got 1, 2, and 3. And I don't need to make any changes to this one, so I'll just leave it as it is. But if you wanted to, you're welcome to. And we're going to go back into code, and we're going to say that once this little goblin has turned up over here, he's going to then go to this spot where he's, oh, you could have standing on the rock. No, not quite enough space. Maybe just in front of his rock. There we go. So we'll say go to that direction, go to that position, sorry. And we'll say, that's the command there. And then he's going to be really happy with himself and say, yay. Where have we got it? Say. There you go. Say what he's going to say. He's going to say, yay, I made it. He's going to say that for 3 seconds. And let's have a go. Oh, we haven't coded the bat yet, but the bat's pretty much off screen at the moment. But I'd like to hide him so it's like clear that the bat isn't there anymore. And so for that, I'm going to go into looks and say, where is it? There is hide. There we go. And that will hide the bat after he finishes those movements. And let's test it out. Oh no. So I've made a mistake here. I've forgotten to put in a instruction to change the background back to the bedroom. So to do that, I will go back into the goblin, and I will right at the start here put an instruction to switch the backdrop to the bedroom icon, and that will background, sorry. So here we go. Switch backdrop to, it says garden rock, and we're going to say bedroom 3 for now, and connect that back up. Hopefully that should work a little better. Ah, excellent. What? There is a bat in my room. No bat though, because I have hidden the bat. So I need to unhide the bat to start off with. So we'll do that by clicking show, and that's going to show that bat after it's hidden. So the reason why I didn't do that is because it was hidden at the end of the code, and then there was no instruction to then show the bat. So I've now put that in there, and now it's good to go. Clicking on the flag again. I need to get ready for gardening. What? There is a bat in my room. Then shoo, shoo. Bat is very scared, flies away. Excellent. And now our goblin runs away, says, ooh, there was a mistake. We need to get this background switched to the gardening one. And to do that, we will, where shall we do it? Maybe in Goblin. And then, yep, so right here, we will say, switch backdrop to Garden Rock. Awesome. Just running it one more time. And to get ready for gardening. What? There is a bat in my room. And then shoo, shoo. Bat flies away. And our little goblin runs across to our garden. And that's looking really good. But maybe to finish off, we would like to add in a end screen, and we can do that by using backgrounds again. Alright, to put in a end screen, we're gonna jump in here and use something plain to be our background and our end screen, because we don't want to distract too much from the message. And you want to just click on here and go into backdrops, and here you can put some text in. So here I'm just going to put in some text saying the end, or maybe put end. I think that's pretty good. I don't need an exclamation mark. And I might, yeah, just put that in the middle, put it on a slight angle as well. Give it that fancy look. Yeah, looks like looking pretty good. And then we'll go into code again, click on the goblin, and then when he gets to here, we want him to be hidden, so he's not in front of the so he's not in front of our end screen, and we want to then show the what do you call right background? Where is it? Show switch. There we go. Switch backdrop to light, and that should work quite well. I need to get ready for gardening. What? There is a bat in my room. Shoo shoo. Bat is scared off, and goblin runs off. Says yay, I made it. And then we end up at the end screen, and that's looking really great. One thing that I have missed, I realized, is that I haven't put sound in here. So let's try and put some sound in and see how we go. To find some sound, you've got some great options here. I think I would like there to be a fairy dust sound at the start. So you can have a look at these sounds by going into sounds, and then you can play them here. Unfortunately, there's an error on my computer that's not allowing me to play sound from scratch for some reason. Might be a scratch problem, but you can see that there's sound here playing, so I hope you can give it a go on your own screen. So we'll say we'll put play sound fairy dust until done at the start. Let's give that a go now. So go, whoops. Oh, we might put that there. Alright, I need to get ready for gardening. There should be some fairy sound playing, but there isn't right now, and that's okay. Shoo shoo, and then bat flies off. Goblin runs off to garden, says yay, I made it, and the end. Awesome, so that's the whole tutorial done now. So you can see I've made like a really simple story animation using just 4 categories of code, just 2 characters and just 3 backgrounds, and that was quite simple. It's not the most simple tutorial I could have done, but I wanted to make it a little bit interesting, and I hope you enjoyed it and learned something today. Come back in a couple of weeks. There'll be more tutorials you can watch if you'd like to. And yeah, thank you very much for joining me today. Bye.